Hey everyone, it's Sarah here from Spiritual Events and Directory, and I have got the lovely Denise with me today, tonight, this evening. Hello,
Right, yeah.
Denise, and welcome.
Hello. What else do you do on a
Yeah,
Friday night?
yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was just saying, why are we doing this live on a Friday night? Well, at night, I'm like, I'm so tired. But anyway,
Yeah.
the joys of being a mum and a businesswoman, I suppose. Anyway, Denise,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining me. And can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Me. Okay. I'm a certified, definitely certified life coach and emotional freedom technique practitioner. So
Yeah,
I guess I do most of my work online just because I live in Tasmania and I live in quite a rural area. So using this sort of stuff is easiest for me and for the people I work with. I really love doing working with people and happiness, confidence, and then just seeing them transform in and becoming just like great. Like really enjoying their lives much more than perhaps they were before.
yeah, a better
That's
version
me.
of themselves.
Yeah, and because that's what it did for me, sort of thing. So that's why I like to help do that for other people. So
Yeah, exactly. No, that's usually the way it goes, isn't it? Once something works for you, you're like,
okay.
I've got, and then you sort
Yeah,
of learn about
yeah,
it and then help others.
yeah. Yeah, well, I kind of learned about tapping through my horse vet. I've got horses, and she's into alternative therapy. She's an acupuncturist and herbalist as well as a vet. And she was at my horses and she was tapping on her like karate chop point, which we use. I'd never seen it before, but I was like, oh, what are you doing? Because I knew that she's into that sort of stuff. She said, oh, there's stuff called tapping. You should really get into it tonight. She'd really like it. And then I kind of went, okay. And I think I Googled it, but that was about it.
Yeah.
And then about 12 months after that, marriage fell apart and, things weren't great. And another friend who I'd actually met after I'd separated, and she said, oh, you should try this stuff called tapping, Denise. It's really great. And I was like, oh, that's twice it's been mentioned. And I kind of still didn't do much. And then the vet came back again, and she's like, no, you really, really need to do this. So that's kind of how it started, really. So, when you get sort of hit over the head 3 times, it gets mentioned 3 times, you think, okay, yeah, probably someone's telling me something, so I should go and follow it. And it's that's how I got into it, and basically it made me feel better about myself. So like, not that I'm I would say I'm relatively self-confident anyway, but you go through a separation, and it does sort of bruise your self-confidence and your happiness, and life changes a lot. So like, it just helped me sort of be less angry and less, all the stuff that goes along with that. So that's kind of how I got into it, really. And then sort of did some free online courses, and the follow along with the video stuff, and just thought, I need to do this a bit deeper because I really liked it. So that's did a course, got qualified, work with other people. It's great. Love it.
Yeah. And that's how we met as well, through the lady that did she teach you, or did you go through her school?
Yeah.
Lovely.
I went through her school. Yeah, so the Australian Tapping Institute. Yeah, she's great. Like, she's just amazing. So, and then once you kind of start out doing all the online videos that pop up on YouTube, and that I do like with the tapping circle, and they're great. But once you have a one-on-one session, like, you just go, oh my God, that's because the aim is to get. Say you might be feeling really anxious about something. The aim is to work out like what's underneath the anxiety and reduce that, so that so that it goes, so that you're not constantly having to tap on the same thing. So the idea is to, get rid of it, really. And you can do that in like a group situation, but a one-on-one is much faster because you're working on like your trigger points. You get to your trigger points much faster, and so it's just, so once you have that, and which you do at the course that I went through, you just suddenly go, oh my God, it just changes. So so here we are anyway. So
exactly. I've heard lots of things about EFT, so while we're on it, you might as well run us through. Can you just run us through the where you do tap, like the points or the pressure points or whatever?
Okay, so you tend to start on your karate chop point, which is the, like if you were literally going to karate chop someone. So you tap, doesn't matter which hand, and you can swap as you're going through, because at some point, you might get a bit sick of just tapping on one side. Tapping really hard. I was actually having this discussion with my dad the other day. He had a session with a friend of mine via video, because I just don't like to work with family and friends because, friends are okay, family is not new. So
I might
he went to someone else
and see what you're doing. There you go. I'm still here.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can see.
So you don't. I can't see. Yep. So you don't, and so you don't have to. You're not tapping really hard. It's quite gentle. So you're just tapping on your karate chop point at the start. You're just saying, even though I'm feeling really anxious, I completely and deeply accept myself. So you're going to do that a couple of times just to get yourself in the space that you need to get into. Then you're going to. So I'll just tap my glasses off so you can see. Then you're going to tap on your like eyebrow point and repeat, and this is where it gets a bit counterintuitive. You start with the negative, so you focus on the issue you've got. So you can so you might go, I'm really anxious, and then you repeat side of your eye, I'm really anxious, under your eye, I'm really anxious, under your nose, and the cleft of your chin. So all the time you're repeating, I'm feeling anxious, or whatever it is that's coming up for you.
Yeah.
And then the collarbone there, I'm feeling anxious. There is one point under your arm, sort of about where your bra strap would be.
Yeah.
I tend not to use that because I tend to feel, I've got boobs, so I have to reach over a bit more. So I tend not to use it. Rest my flow a bit. Yeah. And then the top of your head. So you would do that 2 or 3 times on the way through, repeating, I feel really anxious. Hopefully the intensity of it reduces. And then you would, maybe why you feel anxious would come up. So it could be your dentist when I was 3 and it really hurt, or, whatever it is that comes up. So you work through that as you're tapping. So you go, the dentist hurt me, or the dentist scared me, or, whatever it is. So you tap sort of through that and try to get at what's beneath everything, so that you reduce your intensity to like a really low level. So, you might have started out, we sort of try to mark it, 1 to 10 on how intense it is, basically. So, 0 or 1 is, it's there, or 1, it's kind of there, but I'm not really fussed. And 10 is, you're just crying in the corner. So, and then as you're tapping on the way through, you check back in and try and work out, has it gone down or up? Mm-hmm. And then you just keep working till it gets down to like a 0. And then 1 or maybe a 2. And then you would go back in and start the positive. Yeah, I'm great. It's okay. I'm amazing. Whatever it is, just sort of something that's nice for yourself. Yeah. I can do it. And that's it basically. So you start with a negative. You're trying to get rid of it, I suppose, or reduce it down to something that's doesn't really affect you anymore. So then you rewire your brain into feeling good about it, or at least not necessarily good, but not scared or frightened or whatever it is. Just
you can get through it.
A bit more positive about it. So I've used it. I'm slightly dentist phobic, and I have used it as I go into the dentist, and as I've been sitting in the chair, there are some tapping points on your fingers, so you can tap on like next to your fingernails. So I've sat in the dentist chair and done that as he's been doing his like root canal. He did ask, was I a bit nervous? Because obviously I was tapping my fingers and he thought that was a bit strange.
Yeah.
But there are scientific studies where they've shown that it reduces, and that one was on a dentist, and I think they got them to do it in a waiting room before they went in for 10 minutes just beforehand. And I think it was something like 45%. I'd have to go and have a look, but they reported, feeling, 45% less stressed than people who didn't do tapping to start with. And, it gets used for, sports performance. So I think on my Facebook page there should be a link to a YouTube video where they literally have found a whole heap of professional sports people doing it as they're sitting on the bench or before they run or, whatever it is that they do, because they use it as a way to focus and to not think about, what happens if I don't win or what happens if I fall over or, it's just to get them a little direction. And I think I did read one study and they just got university basketball students, and it wasn't a big study, so and they got them to see how high they could jump and see how many, and I can never say this word properly, free throws they could do. Then they took them, they divided them into two, sent one lot off for a positive talk. So they just had a chat about you can do it and, all that. And the other group tapped. They came back and did the same thing again, and the people that tapped had 38% improvement, and the people that had the positive talk were the same.
Wow.
So, it's got, and they're starting to do scientific research with it now as well. So, and I'm pretty sure in America it's being used for PTSD in soldiers, and they're sending, I did read somewhere, and I've not been able to find anything else about other than it was mentioned, but they're starting to teach it to troops to use in the field themselves. So when they're out doing whatever they're doing and they're feeling a bit stressed, so that they don't end up with PTSD, they're teaching them to tap on themselves while they're out in the field, and it's, they're whatever it is that they're doing, hopefully nothing too awful, but so that they're learning to reduce their own stress, so they're not coming back to base all wound up. They're sort of bringing it. So it's relatively new, but it's not. But yes, it's anyone that's listening who hasn't had a go, have a go.
We both at the same time. And that brings us to, well, they might as well have a go with you. So you've got an exclusive, or you've got a giveaway. What's the giveaway first up?
Yeah, I thought for everyone that manages to hang out on a Friday night, or, well, I don't know how you're going to do it, but give away 3 sessions. So, to 3 people, 1 session. Yeah. So if you want, anyone wants to do that, I don't know how you're going to do that, Sarah, but I'm sure you'll work it out.
Yep, I'm going to say comment. I'm just going to type the comment on the video. I'm going to pop this up so it actually, look, fancy.
Oh, yeah. I really like being live.
It is good, eh? It's really good. It's good when it works. Yeah.
I haven't had too much trouble yet. So.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Okay.
So I want to know who's from Tassie, but it doesn't say. So,
what was that, sorry?
Can you see that? It just says Facebook. Oh, someone just says they're from Tassie too. So I was like, hey.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know who they are.
I know. I don't know why it does that in groups. You just can't see their names. I tried to scroll through on my phone, but I can't even find out live in the group.
I use this for the tapping circle, and their names come up.
Yeah, because that's the Facebook page. That's the Facebook page. So Denise has a show too on spiritual events and directory. So she's got the tapping circle on what night is that?
Tuesday night at 6:00. Yeah.
So there you go. So if you want to learn more about tapping, go and definitely watch that, because you teach, don't you, on that? You sort of, you will. Yeah.
We run through a different topic every week. So if anyone's got some ideas on what topic they'd like to cover, cravings or stress or anxiety or phobias or, whatever it is, more than happy to have some ideas. Otherwise, I just tend to run with the things that I need help with. so anyone who wants to get deep into my psyche, just your life, what we've done so far. Yeah. So too much. What have we done? Too much to do. And what was the last week? I can't remember. But yeah, feeling like overwhelmed and too much to do, like every female mum on the planet. So yeah. So there you go. You can look into my psyche until someone gives us some ideas.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So we've got in the little blurb that you have 8 horses. Oh my God! So you obviously love horses. You got more?
I've got several qualifications in equine therapies. So I think I've got, what have I got? I've got equine touch, equine photonics, equine aromatherapy, and then a friend and I have developed something called equine aromatherapy technique, which is for horse owners that don't have any practitioner. That's just so they can use essential oils on their horse. We've just started an online school. So literally last week was our first published course. So that's kind of my... I've had horses since I was 9 and I'm nearly 50. So, which is probably why I was 8. But, most of mine are on a bit. I've got one, I think my youngest he's 6 or 7 and the oldest, he's 27. So, wow. They're all, and some of my daughter's ponies too. Like she's got a couple. So they're not really good, but so, but they're great. And I really want to develop an animal tapping. That's my next project. So I've actually been out in the paddock experimenting and tapping on myself while the horses are around, and literally they all went to sleep. And funny enough, my dog, who normally I've got 3 dogs, but one of them, he loves barking at the horses if they're standing still. You won't chase them necessarily. If they're standing still, he'll just stand and bark. And he came over and laid down and went to sleep with the horses as well. So it was really really interesting to see the energy change in them. So that's on the cards too at some point.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
That's my fun kind of interesting thing. When you suddenly go, oh, this is actually could really work with. And I've seen a couple of people videos with it. I'll probably change it slightly to what I've seen other people do, but it's that's my fun kind of thing to do.
Yeah, I know the animal communication, like the psychics and stuff like that. That's pretty big now. People like going. And having that done for their animals. So, there's so many people that they're animals and that's their babies, So, it's a good.
And like I said, horses, energy is such a big thing with animals. That sort of, they communicate with each other through like body language and energy, really. So, it's this sort of stuff that works on energy is a real. It's just nice. It's lovely to sit down with your animals and just everyone to be comfortable and happy together and, just connected and relaxed. So,
exactly.
There you go.
Awesome. Alrighty. The next one is, what is the exclusive? So Denise is an advertiser in the publication. In the December to February new publication that's coming out, or not new, we're relaunching it. It's got a new name. That's exciting. And as part of that, she's going to offer an exclusive for you guys. So what is your exclusive, Denise? Your exclusive.
I was going to do if you book and pay for one session, I'll give you enough free. So,
wow.
When's that coming out, Sarah? Is it?
That's coming out in December, but you don't have to obviously run your exclusive for the next 3 months.
Yeah, and
if you
I
want.
was sort of thinking end of September-ish, so like over the next couple of weeks. And obviously you don't have to run, like you can book and pay for it, but you don't have to do the 2 sessions in the next 2 weeks. You know, we obviously work out what time suits us all. So, yeah.
Denise, can you just quickly tell us what exactly would a session involve, just so people, because it's not something that, you know, obviously not a psychic reading and that sort of thing. So if, what would they come to you? And what,
they would probably think of an issue that they want to deal with. So it could be a phobia, or it could be they want to just feel more confident, or they're feeling overwhelmed with too much to do. It may well be they want to start their own business, but they're feeling blocked. You know, they can't move forward. You know, whatever it is that they want to deal with and work on. And it would be a mixture of tapping and just kind of like talking. They would, you know, we just try to get to what's underneath, what's, you know, so if you're blocking, if someone wants to, you know, go and study but they can't seem to get there, you know, like, you know, I guess we all do it to a certain extent. What stops you from doing what you do? So say we were doing that, we would look at why, you know, was there a time in their childhood that sort of happened, or was there time, you know, is there a pattern happening? And so you look at that sort of stuff, make people aware of what's going on. And so you use a mixture of tapping to reduce the, you know, the intensity around whatever it is, and just to help them suddenly realise that they can move forward, they can change the pattern that's been going on, which they probably aren't even aware of, because, you know, most of us don't realise that.
You know, exactly.
Yeah, you know, you just don't. You go, oh, actually, actually, I can remember this time when I was 12 that, you know, whatever it is happened, that the teacher told me I wasn't ever going to be good enough, you know, or I remember, you know, my sister told me that I was ugly, or, you know, whatever it is that happened, you suddenly, those sort of things just sort of mount up. And so we'll look at that sort of stuff. So that's kind of, a mixture of looking at patterns and what's happening and what you want to work on, and then tapping as well. So it kind of, so it's kind of a bit like a tapping circle, but it's much more focused on them. So
exactly. And it must work, because you had never done videos or anything before you said yes to the show, had you?
No, I'd only done like a couple of really quick Facebook 2 second, like, you know, 30-second, I'm out in the paddock with my horse, look at me kind of thing. So then I just thought, just been thinking, oh, you know, I really want to do something that's a bit different. And I literally had been like tapping on, you know, I'll get out there and I'll do some stuff, and what was I going to do? And I just sort of journaling, you know, like, I don't really know, and I don't really know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to find something, I'm going to be successful, you know, whatever, like, that's what I was doing. Literally, I popped onto Facebook, and Lorna, who was the previous person doing it, who's my mentor, she put a post up saying, I'm no longer going to do this. One of you guys want to do it in her like alumni page, where those are the that have gone through the school. And I was like, oh, okay. So so it does work, you know. You just
you've totally,
you can do some work. Yeah. So it just sort of happens like the time.
Sorry, Lorna gave me some tips as well with the personal stuff that I was going through, because I was shitting myself pretty much. And she's like, no, just tap here, do this. And it helped a lot. Yeah. It
does. You can just, if you're in a situation where you're just really overwhelmed, you know, at that point, you don't really care what's underneath it, but you need to get to a point you can literally just, you don't even have to speak. Like, ideally, you're, you know, like, I am safe, I am okay, I am safe. You know, whatever it is that I'm centered, you know, whatever it is that you need to say, you just repeat that, and you're going to find that you just, you know, and even in a session, if things get intense, and, you know, sometimes you'll I'm not trying to put anyone off, but sometimes you get to a point where you're having a cry about whatever it is, and you'll just sit and tap I would be talking to them. We would just sit and generally just tap like here, and you just sit and tap, and you'll just find that you just get to a point of like, okay, now I'm safe, I'm okay, and you can get through whatever it is. So and you can, if you're sitting on the bus going to a job interview, say, or a train, or and you're feeling a bit nervous, you can just sit and tap on the one spot. So you can use your fingers. This is a really good spot just because I know Lorna was saying that she'll sit on the train and have her earphones in, and people think she's listening to music and tapping along to the music, where she's actually, going through whatever it is that she wants to, tap on.
Yeah.
So that should be that one spot here. And I do tend to find that I'll sit now, even quite subconsciously, and even if I'm not really thinking about anything, I'll sit and tap. So it's quite interesting, really. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Oh, it's part of your life now, isn't it? You live it, breathe it, tapping all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to do the whole gratitude thing too, but I'm not always as conscientious as I should be. But it's still everyone's a work in progress.
Yeah.
But I do tend to now. I've noticed that I'm a lot more positive than I was. I'm naturally a glass half empty person. I'm not. I'm a pessimist in my natural state, and so I have to work hard to be. I have to work really hard to think life's great. That's And so I now literally will go through my day going, oh, there's a good thing. So I've trained myself a little bit better to go.
Yeah.
Oh wow, look at that flower! Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Whereas and then I'll try to remember it. So when I come home on my drive home, or if I'm going somewhere, I'll think, oh, what good thing happened today, rather than, oh God, it was just really intense, and I'm just so glad. I can't wait to get home, and I mean I'm always quite happy to go home, but do you know what I mean? I'm trying to remember the good things, not the bad. Because your brain just automatically goes to the bad things. There can be one bad thing and 10 good things in the day, but you're going to think about the one bad thing. Whereas I'm training my brain to go for the positive, which is working. So it just
it does. It just takes time. You got to be willing to work at it. Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, like I said before, we're all a work in progress. No one's totally in
Exactly.
The Dalai Lama, maybe. I don't know. But, do you know what I mean? This.
He's probably not either. We don't know him.
No, probably not. Actually, I know someone that went to a talk by him, and they said something, and he went, yes, but I don't have normal people problems. I don't have to think about cooking or cleaning a house or looking after kids or whatever. Everything gets done for me. Or why would I, I don't have the issues that 99% of the world have. So she said it was really quite interesting because they must have asked him, why is he always so happy? And he said, because, things are always good for me, because he looks for it, but because, life is easier for him than it is for lots of people. So it was
exactly.
Anyway, just an aside.
That's all right. And on that note, I think we'll leave it. Well, thank you so much, Denise, for joining me tonight. I appreciate that. And anyone that would like a chance to win the free session, just comment on the video. I didn't say anything. I've just realised I've just put comments, so it doesn't matter. Whatever comment, everybody's comment I'll just choose from. And
someone just made a comment.
Yeah.
So tapping circle on Tuesday nights, and I've also got a Facebook page which so that's DM. What is it? DM Transformational Coach. So but that's on the spiritual events directory page. Usually I pop a link on my tapping circle anyway, so you'll find me.
Lovely. Alrighty, thanks Denise, and thanks everyone that was watching.
Thanks everyone for giving up part of their Friday night.
Yeah. Thank you. See you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.